Andrew Tate was in large part a response to toxic masculinity, right? He was like the shock to the system that men needed after years and years and years of being told their masculinity sucks. You know, don't stand up for yourself, don't have standards, don't be physically fit. Your manhood makes you evil and toxic, and shove all that deep down, because if it comes out, we're gonna call you toxic. Andrew Tate, that is the topic for today. I'm sure you guys have been hearing all about it for the last months, for the last year almost. He's sweeping the nation, always in the news it seems like, and I really haven't talked about it yet, so I want to hit on it, especially after his Tucker Carlson interview, which was really interesting. Go give it a watch. This is really revolving around what happened in the aftermath of that Tucker Carlson interview. People were saying that Andrew Tate lied to Tucker. There was this video that went viral showing what Andrew Tate said to Tucker in terms of the allegations that were, levied against him versus what he said in the past. And it really showed him saying a lot of disgusting things, talking about his relationships with women, talking about how he's made his money off of the backs of women and the way that he's, gotten them to work for him, essentially. I won't go through all of that. It's a really long video, but I'm going to be reacting to Allie Beth Stuckey breaking down a little segment from that expose. Here it is.
And that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree. That teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me. Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. And that's how I got rich.
I was all about trying to get paid. I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house and make me money. That's what I wanted. So I was a pimp in that sense. Like, I was not trying to have sex with women. I was trying to get women to obey me, and I realized that's easier if they like to have sex with me.
Andrew Tate is a scumbag. Following Andrew Tate is not going to lead to satisfaction. Not only if you do the things that he has admitted to doing, will you probably get charged and end up in prison, but you're not going to find yourself with a satisfying relationship. You're not going to find yourself with a lot of self-respect. You're not going to find yourself with the kind of discipline that actually leads to any kind of fulfilling life. You are going to find yourself with all of these empty treasures, and you're going to realize that you're just as lonely, you're just as empty as you were before. The answers that Andrew Tate is trying to give you for your problems is going to lead to just as much dissatisfaction as what you are hearing from the left, who says that all of your masculinity is toxic. Both messages are wrong. He is giving you a false idea of what it really means to be a man. I promise, if you pursue this, it will end up in a dead end.
I mean, she said it perfectly. Allie Beth Stuckey is the best. We love ABS over here. I've been on her show a couple times. She's great. She always gives a good biblical and Christ-centered message and reaction to stuff. And I think she's on point here. And something she said during that is exactly the point. The messages that Andrew Tate is espousing are the same kind of, it's the flip side of the toxic masculinity thing. And that's what I think is important to recognize. Andrew Tate was in large part a response to toxic masculinity, right? He was like the shock to the system that men needed after years and years and years of being told their masculinity sucks. Don't stand up for yourself, don't have standards, don't be physically fit. Your manhood makes you evil and toxic, and shove all that deep down, because if it comes out, we're going to call you toxic. And the pendulum swung, of course, way harder in the other direction. I heard Vivek Ramaswamy, a presidential candidate in America, said this the other day, and it was so interesting, and it was so on point, and it reminds me of this. He said, when you tell people they can't talk, they yell, and when you tell people they can't yell, they start going crazy. And I think the same thing can be said for anything. Like, anytime you censor something, anytime you tell people to be quiet, it doesn't actually work, right? It doesn't actually, work for its intended outcome. People just bottle it up, and then it explodes. And that's exactly what happened as a result of toxic masculinity. They shoved it down deep. You see every school shooter today is a young man who's either an incel or hates women, and they're taking it back out on society. And that's the whole point, is when you tell men that their masculinity is toxic and that it's evil, and when you try to make men weak, it doesn't make them harmless or docile, it makes them dangerous, right? Making weak men makes them dangerous. And so Andrew Tate, he really was. He was like the shock to the system that woke men up. And in that regard, I think he's done a lot of good for men, right? He's told them, you do need to have standards. You do need to go out there. You need to be physically fit. Be a man, right? Embrace your manhood. And that's really why so many men were seeking it out, because they had no outlets for seeking out masculinity. And I think in that sense, he has done a lot of good for men. The problem is, and why I see now that he's really not a good thing for men, is what is he really saying? You know, he's saying that men don't have any sense of identity. They don't have any sense of purpose. And what are the purposes that he's, you know, inserting into the young men? Well, it's sleep around with a ton of women. It's gamble. It's put a lot of your worth and your purpose into earthly things like cars, right? Money, basing your self-worth off of how much money you make. And those aren't good either. And like Ali said, the same reasons why toxic masculinity isn't going to leave them happy or fulfilled, putting all of your self-worth into money, cars, mansions, gambling, sleeping around with women, that's not going to leave you fulfilled either. And so I think the whole red pill movement, there's been a lot of good in it in calling out the hypocrisy of feminism, calling out the hatred that feminism has become. But it's gone a little bit too far, I think, or it's maybe lost the plot of which is toxic masculinity or anything that seeks to make men weak. It's not going to leave them fulfilled. And that's what we're looking for. We want men to have purpose and identity. And really, the only place you're going to get that is in Christ. It's in biblical values. It's in God. Whether you think that you're going to get it through becoming a weak man or you're going to get it through making money, sleeping around women, both of those things are going to leave you empty and unfulfilled. And, you know, Andrew Tate, he's not Christ-centered, right? He's not value-centered. The cartoon character that you would think of being a man, right? It's smoking the cigars, driving around expensive cars, and sleeping around with a ton of women, but that doesn't take discipline. That doesn't make you a good, virtuous man. Base your life around Christ, go to church, right? Have these biblical values, be disciplined, and do the hard thing, which is commit to one woman. Let me know what you guys think about Andrew Tate. Do you guys think that he's done more good for society and men, or has he hurt men in society more? I think it's a really interesting case. I'm seeing people on both sides of the argument, but I think Ali hit it out of the park with her analysis. And let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comments below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe for more. I'll see you guys in the next video.